Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Secret Saturday. It's Secret Saturday. Bro, I'm not even going to at the Discord. Look at him. Nobody shows up when I do it anyway. Actually, you know what? I might. Hold on. Okay, perhaps I was too harsh. Hold on. Hold. Maybe I will. If you care. I'm lashing out. I'm officially lashing out. What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. It's freaking Saturday, bro. I am avoiding doing adult responsibilities today. I was supposed to take care of recycling. I didn't do that. I technically could just do it tomorrow, but I wanted to do it today, but I didn't do it today. Responsibilities are for suckers. So I'm told. All right. Actually, wait. Monday's a holiday. May not even have to worry about it tomorrow. Sometimes stuff just kind of works out, you know? I like that. What's up, Just Ben? Hello. What's up, NC fan? Hello, Elroy. Was my perception correct on that? Did you pick up the vibe I was trying to give off just now? Oh, I'm trying to find something. I can't get my computer to work. There we go. Hold on. Not stream sniping me, huh? I see. It's coordinated effort. Now it all makes sense. Now it all makes perfect sense. I was sabotaged from the beginning. I knew them Discord people didn't actually watch the stream. I'm telling y'all. I knew that shit. You'll never convince me otherwise. I knew. Y'all think I don't pay attention? I pay attention. Okay? I pay attention. Some 70% of the time. I pay attention. 60% of the time, I definitely pay attention. Okay? I do. Yeah, solid 53. Yeah, solid 53. Oh, wait. Jenna messaged me back. We have trash pickup on Monday. Bro, MLK Day is a federal holiday. Why don't they observe it? Frustrating. Very frustrating. I'm nuking the Discord. Y'all will get notifications of my streams, and that's it. I've decided. So shall it be done. Whenever I get to it. I'm pretty lazy with it, to be honest. I've secretly been trying to rebuild it for like a year and a half. And I simply can't. I simply can't. Okay. Anyway, memes aside. Why am I live today? Why the heck am I live today? Why am I live today? I'm live today because I didn't actually do the thing I was supposed to do yesterday on Fridays, which just arena matches. Because I did the new weekly series thing where I'm grinding and growing. I'm losing and I'm learning. Favorite battles. And it took a really long time. I didn't even realize by hour 2 that I had been doing it for 2 hours. Genuinely. I feel like maybe I fell into like some kind of weird time. Why is everything blue now? I fell into, now it's warm again. Are you all seeing that? Am I God? Can I command colors? I feel very powerful all of a sudden. Anyway, 2 hours have gone by, and I didn't realize that 2 hours had gone by. And I just really wanted to play TFT, something I fundamentally understand better. Not that I don't understand the fundamentals of Summer Duels. I guess that's not the right way to put it. I understand the fundamentals. I got 10 wins last night. Some of which I discovered were against people in this like competitive server thing. The Cabal, the Summer Duels Cabal, the bourgeoisie. Which I don't think they knew they were matching against me. Some of them were like legit. I don't know how many, but like some of them are legit. Some of the wins are legit. Maybe some people were just being nice. Aqua was definitely just being nice at one point. But I'm owed that because it was an intentional stream snipe, which I have proven with facts, logic, and logs. FLL. So that I think kind of proves I understand at least the fundamentals. The problem is that there's just too damn much to keep up with, dude. There's too much. It's like TFT has sets that span like months at a time. FaZe metagame changes like every 2-3 weeks. And it's like, bro, I don't have, I'm an adult. There's gray in my beard. Okay? I'm too old for that. I ain't got time to dedicate to that. I can't be sweaty like that. That's why TFT is perfect. I love it. I love it a lot. And it's probably the weebiest thing about me, but I don't care. I don't care. If I'm ever able to purchase Riftbound off of the GD Riot Games merch store, I'm going to buy TFT socks and I'm going to wear them proudly. You watch me. But out of principle, I will not purchase anything until I can actually get the cards I so desire. Anyway, I understand the fundamentals. It's a lot to constantly keep up with. Is my beef, I think. I like the changes. It keeps it interesting. I'm not saying it's not interesting. And that is a fair point to make. If you're going to no life heroes, sure. Go nuts. I have too many other special interests. And I've hit the tipping point where it's just like too much to keep track of. To like, you know how like you can be involved in multiple things, but you can't really fully enjoy them unless you tailor down how much time you spend on each thing. Because if you don't, then you're not really really engaging with the thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you can knit and also play chess and also garden and also cook. But if you only spend like 10 minutes a day knitting, you probably won't make a lot of like technical progress as a knitter. It's kind of like that's kind of where I'm coming from. And so something that is much more engageable, like TFT, where they just give you everything and then you just have to pluck them out of a random pool that gets shuffled on your board every round. That is so much easier. It is so much easier. And I guess it's more approachable in that context for me. But anyway, brain dead modes like Arena. Those are easy enough for me to manage, which is what we're here to do today. Yay! That's an awesome segue, Brian. Great job, man. Okay, pep talk over. Also, if y'all did see the title, we're gonna be looking a little bit at Choose Your Legend stuff. I have the results of 9 through 3. I don't know what happened to 2 and 1. Maybe they weren't like on the website at that time. I don't know. But like I can't find it anywhere. So I'm just not gonna try the web. Or like the browser link, the web link that they've been using, the browser address, it has not changed. They just put like a new number in front of it every time. And so maybe they weren't doing that for 1 and 2. I don't know. But I couldn't find them. Anyway, point is, I've seen some observations that I think would be interesting to go over and talk about a little bit. And then what? And then what? TFT, probably. I have dinner in the crock pot. So we have until a roast with carrots and potatoes ends. That's the general plan today. And I will not be sorting recycling, even though it is due on a Monday morning. That's a me problem tomorrow. You feel me? Give me some banger music, bro. Give me. No, I'll die. Like, yeah. Like, I got. Okay, we're fine. My tablet went to sleep and I panicked, like, immediately. What do we want? Should I try and beat it in the time it takes to play the full Rainbow Road medley? That could be fun. Take anywhere from half an hour to the end of time. It's like a clean 2-ish, 3 hours. I've timed it. And we're not doing anything different with it that would require different time. So It should be okay. You know what I kind of want, though? I kind of want one of them fancy pressure cookers. Low key. I feel like a pressure cooker would be pretty fire. This is what I need. Right? But you've lost all your stuff, probably. You need... oh. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, that's right. You both need rings, and I think we got to go diamond. Bloop. The diamond. Because I think it's his week, right? So he also needs something. You probably want the seal. I would assume the thing I put on Black Knight yesterday. Come to me. The results were removed from the website? Oh. Dude, they're so weird about stuff. Do you think it... Dude, wait. They removed all the old Fate channels, too. Do you think... Okay. Hear me out. Heroes started to kind of go downhill after year 3. Do you think ownership of, like, the development changed teams? And it was just a different core team working on it, and that's why everything has kind of just gotten slowly worse since, like, the first 3 years ended? And why they've also, like, removed stuff, because maybe they, like, had to legally? Conspiracy. You know what I mean? Dude, imagine? God, that would make so much sense, actually. Okay, engage. Let's engage. I don't think that works. Right? You might work. That might work on you. That could be fun. That's not going to help me. Oh, actually, we probably want that on Diamond, huh? That'd be way better, I bet. I bet that would be way better. Let's give that to Golvig. Let's give this to Alencia. Hope for the best. Expect the worst. Home for dinner anyway. Okay. I think that does it. All my emblem heroes to Braves. That's not a bad strat. Wait, it's not Diamant? Dude, why was I thinking it was Diamant? Is next week Diamant? Bro, that's so cringe. I just did the whole thing. What the heck, man? What the heck, bro? Okay, wait. Engage. Engage! We can give them... Yeah. Sniper healer strat. Who's with me? Okay, that's fine. You know what? After this, I'm going to prep next week's team. And it will be ready to go next week. You know what I mean? And wouldn't that be a treat for next week, Brian? When he doesn't have to think about it again. All right, now I'm ready. Now it's real. Ew. God. Okay.
Show me the way. I will hide in shadow.
A tricky situation.
Whoa.
We make our attack. Well,
Gone.
careful.
Stuck.
Allow me.
Well,
Still stuck.
is anyone very well?
Can't snipe. You got that Lin ring on though. I see you.
Show me the way. Hmm.
Okay.
I will hide in shadow.
A tricky situation.
Is anyone hurt?
Everyone is hurt.
Express our gratitude. Show me the way. Well, careful. We make our attack.
That's a problem.
Now let us celebrate. Well, I will hide in shadow.
Hey yo! We get there.
Allow me.
Hmm.
We freaking get there, dog.
A tricky situation.
To express our gratitude.
Is this fine, do you think? Sweet. Okay,
Now let us celebrate.
we got this. Legendary Diamond. Is he that bad to deal with? Have I just like forgotten?
Careful.
Which I mean could be the case.
Allow me.
Very well. Is anyone hurt? Show me the way.
We get there though. Even though we couldn't do fun snipey things. But we got there. We did the thing, kinda. Um. Huh. Huh.
Very well. Hmm. Now let us celebrate. Is anyone hurt?
Oh, I can't immediately snipe you.
Well,
Oh.
we make our attack.
Oh. Oh.
Careful.
Oh.
Show me very well. I will hide in shadow. Is anyone hurt?
Miracle. Is that the new one?
To express
Back in
our
ice?
gratitude. Show me the way.
Dude, we kind of got bombarded by dragon stuff for a while there, and I couldn't keep up.
Well,
A tricky situation.
now let us celebrate.
Allow me.
Dude, if I could draw back, that would be so clutch right now.
Careful.
But I can't. Which kind of
To express
sucks.
our gratitude. Very well. Show me the way.
Boop.
A tricky situation.
Got him. Okay. I don't have. What do you have for scoring?
I will hide in shadow. Well, I will hide.
Look at my queen go. Golvig sweep. I imagine I will be singing a much more off-key tune come this time next year when all of my duos are a year old. And they've not released anything else, and I haven't plus 10'd anything. And it's just a nightmare.
Now let us celebrate. Is anyone hurt? Careful. We make our attack.
We'll be here.
Very well. Show me the way.
Yowza!
Well,
Yowza!
to express our gratitude. I will hide in shadow.
A tricky tricky situation.
Well,
When are they gonna side grade Fatal Smoke?
Allow me.
That's my question.
is anyone hurt? We make our attack.
We'll just wait here.
Now let us celebrate.
Careful.
Oh.
I will hide in shadow. Well,
That's interesting.
hide in shadow. Show me the way.
To express our gratitude.
Whoa.
Very well.
A tricky situation.
Now let us celebrate.
Careful.
Well, I will hide in shadow. Show me the way.
Am I just stalemated?
Is anyone hurt? Very well. Show
I feel like I'm stalemated. Just kidding.
Allow me.
We're back.
Careful.
We make our attack. I will hide in shadow. Very well.
To express
Oh, we're
our
back.
gratitude.
All right. We're so back.
Well,
Okay, I think that's okay. Whoa!
is anyone hurt?
Not cool, man.
Very well.
Can't just jump scare me like that, bro. That's right.
Careful.
I can't wait for the inevitable fall off of Ninja Golvig, bro. What a sad, tragic, awful day it's gonna be. It happens with all Golvigs. It will happen eventually with Ninja as well. Honestly, it's been like 3 months. It may have already started. How much time do I have? Oh, we're only halfway through the track, bro. New speedrun record. Let's go.
Now let us celebrate. I will hide in shadow. Very well.
What's up, Chronicos? That was scary.
Show me the. Is anyone hurt?
To express
Allow
our
me.
gratitude.
Careful. A tricky situation.
Ripperoni. Do we think I just kind of dominate, or thoughts? Any believers in chat? Yeah. Okay, good call. Good call, believers.
Show me the way.
Oops.
Allow me.
I love just hitting the win button, you know?
Gratitude.
We make our attack.
The win button is so clutch.
Well, now let us celebrate. I will hide in shadow.
Dude, Sniper Alencia was doing crazy things last night. I'm so proud of her. Satachi? Satachi seems like a Diamond stand, honestly.
To express
I feel
our
like Satachi messes with Diamond.
Is anyone hurt?
Allow me.
I will hide in shadow.
Okay.
Very well. Show me the way.
Okay.
Well,
Unfortunate.
I will hide in shadow. Very well. Is anyone hurt?
Bummer. Okay, we'll try that. Are we close?
Very well. Show me the way.
Yes! Count it. 10 minute, 40 seconds. Unless I have one more. No, sir. That's a sub 11. I really feel like I could shave some time off, too, if I had to. I'm something of a gamer. Oh, I haven't done Tempest yet? That's fair. Fair and valid. Oh. Beautiful! Oh, shoot. I still don't know what I need. I don't think I need any of those. Okay. We're gonna do a process of elimination. Random number? Okay. Oh, wait. Ooh, spinner is so much more fun. Hold on. Wheel size. Can we go 5? Okay. Wait, how do I spin? Oh, I just keep hitting this. All right, we're going to spin this bad boy. We are starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we spin, we're going to remove one of the possible summons. So whatever it lands on, we are not picking until we have a winner. Let's go! Okay, one is out. One is out. New one starts top right. New one is top right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4! All right, 4 is out. 3 is left. We got 1, 2, 3 starting top right down to bottom left. 2. Bro. That means 1. Well, I guess technically 2 or 4. Either top left or bottom left or top right. Oh my. That's exciting. Those are very me-coded picks, honestly. All right, I've changed the screen. I've changed it. 1 is top right. 2 is bottom left. Going with 1. 1 is the winner! It is done. Anybody want this? Anybody? Oh, she's probably in my reserves already. Wait, did we plus 10? Wait, hold up. Was this actually secret goatedness? Can I just do level? She was plus 9, right? So she's got to be like near the top here. Oh. I already had one. Oh. Okay, well. Second plus 10 of the year. First one I think was shoot, who was it? Ascended Ethune. I think is who was first. Lucky. Oh, you know what else is pretty awesome that I didn't tell you guys yesterday? In my bout to try and get the the new staff for Alencia yesterday, I ended up getting an off-focus Ancient Naga. How cool is that? Pretty freaking cool, man. She is 4 to 5, right? Is that? I think she's FE4. Yeah, okay. Cool. So she's plus 8 now, which is really neat. I knew it would happen eventually. I was a little bummed I didn't get a Franz when I was trying to get the Mias for Thor yesterday, but like it is what it is. Oh, do I need to upgrade these? That's what I need to do. Can you even upgrade all of these, or is it just like impossible? Are there too many? I have 38 that I haven't upgraded yet. Given the number of coins I have, we'll just call it 2540. Divided by 38. I would need an average of 66 per. Which does not seem feasible. So no! You can't upgrade them all. That's tragic. I don't even know how you get more. Resi Battles. Oh, wait. No. Stop. Stop. I was gonna swap out Diamant before I forgot. Boop. Lock it. Call it. Do I want to fuss with this? I really don't want to fuss with this. I'm gonna be so real. This also does not require a level grind anymore. So I simply will not be doing that. You're my new Mia. Ooh, it is for infantry flowers, though. Okay, why is there a Heimdall? What kind of terrorist did this?
Whatever you say, boss.
Although I guess she's doesn't have the skills to do the thing, so it's
What now?
probably fine. It's 150 each.
Let's fly.
I have a strong desire to upgrade them all. Whether that's good or bad, I have a strong desire to do that. You think I get absolutely dunked on here? Probably. Awesome. Oh.
Okay.
That might actually dunk on me a little bit. Wait, I just remembered we get new May soon.
Why not? Here I go.
Oh, I'm stuck. Stuck?
Nectar on the way.
Consider it done.
I feel like a level 1 Alphonse could still take out like a mage or something. Is that weird? I think it would kind of be funny if they just didn't even do it. Low key. I think it'd be really funny if they were just like, "Ooh, sorry. Not in the budget." Part of me was also kind of like, what if those two new arts caused the cuts of the Tempest trial units for January, so they could like just kind of swap them, and then it was like a way to test out if people are gonna get really mad about it or not, and then they'd miraculously bring them back in February, like nothing ever happened, and it was just a way for them to like basically swap the art cost. Isn't that weird? I feel like it's weird I think about these things. It's true though. I do. I am that guy. Because it would technically be like an even swap, kind of. Although I guess you're not. Are they getting new voice lines too? I don't see why they would need them. So probably not, right? I guess they're technically saving more by not worrying about the voice lines and just reusing existing assets. Did that. Nailed it. Crushed it. Oh. Resonant battles. Gotta get through this. Lest I forget. What do we have for harmonized options? Yikes! Okay. A lot of great choices here. Lynn is probably goated. Marissa's probably goated. 401 isn't bad.
Which target?
This might actually be kind of difficult.
Such fun. A festival, huh? Hippity hop. I will see us through.
Cool.
Ah.
If I get too frustrated, I'm busting out Lin Ring or Silica Ring.
We'll give it a shot. Well, we will abide.
Seems I won't have to.
I will see us through. Let's enjoy this. Leave it to me. Such fun. What is it?
Lucky?
Ah.
Clutch. Alright, that was easy. Is it enough? It's very close. Okay, it's probably fine. Probably fine. Have I done all the stuff? I'm pretty close, huh? 14 days left in January, man. That's wild. Or Sharena hasn't gotten the KO yet. All right. Well, y'all want to talk about Choose Your Legends a little bit? I can let this run here. Why can't we sort by bonus heroes? You know what I mean? What's up with that? You are here. Sure. It's probably fine. I do appreciate not needing to worry about like farming more hero marathon stuff. But still kind of sad. Oh, actually, give me Balder. Balder's going to be way better. Probably. Who else? Who else? Oh, where's the Ike? I don't know where the Ike is. Actually, you know what? Just give me Heimdall. GG, call of the day. All right. Yeah, this is what I want. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Choose Your Legends. Cause getting close. We're probably getting an announcement of it in like the next couple days, actually. I think it typically starts in like the third week of January. It now being the 17th means that that's like right around the corner, obviously. But I kind of wanted to go back and look at previous Choose Your Legends. I don't know what happened to the first two websites with the results. Reportedly, they've been taken down or something to it. But we do have number 3, which in my opinion was one of the last great Choose Your Legends. But it's here. And the thing that I think is most staggering is that if you look at the number of votes, it is like drastically different. You know what I mean? If anybody's telling you EOS is right around the corner, like, they've really only had to look at the last few Choose Your Legends numbers for, like, voting to kind of gauge interest in the game overall. You know what I mean? It's pretty staggering stuff. But the last really big one, I think, was Choose Your Legends 6, which had Awakening and then some genealogy / Three Houses stuff. Really high vote counts here. Still nothing compared to like the first couple years where you had stuff that was like in multiple 60, 70K vote situations. You know? Well, I guess first 5 years if you want to be technical about it, because Gatekeeper was insanely high voted. In fact, the men kind of took a dub this particular year, which doesn't typically happen. Usually you have the ladies having slightly more votes. But there have been a couple instances where the men have kind of dominated the voting pool. But then really after this happened, votes really started to kind of like teeter off a little bit. And I think Choose Your Legend 7 was probably the most obvious for that. You had neither female nor male player, or character rather, getting over 20k votes. Versus like the lowest vote last year, or the year prior rather, for Byleth being just over 20k. Now we couldn't even hit that for like winter standards, you know? And it only got more and more similar. This year, Bernie fans like really rallied in year 8, which was kind of interesting. But still, the voting and stuff was like way down. Pretty wild. And then obviously you have the most recent year, which was just a few months ago, that launched back in August. But last year's voting only resulted in this, which you're looking at roughly 50k votes here. And if you hop back to year 3, Micaiah beats that alone. In fact, most of the top 4, or I guess top 2 in each category, nearly beat the total combined votes of last year alone. Which would kind of indicate that voting has gone down roughly 75% over the last, like, 6 years. Which is kind of insane when you think about it. But if you also follow all the polls that take place for, like, or I guess the ones that did take place for, like, Forging Bonds Revival and stuff like that, the engagement on those two were really low. But that's like something that happens every other month or so. You know, it's not really that big a deal. There's probably not as dedicated an interest in those types of polls as opposed to these, which, you know, I will, as I cover this, I will have people come back to my channel who have not watched my shit in a year and be like, wow, it's been a minute. What's going on with Choose Your Legends this year? Because it is arguably the most important thing in the game. It is how anniversaries are celebrated. It is the most community and player engagement that the game will have all year. This is like the biggest thing that the game Fire Emblem Heroes does. That's it. So, with that said, why is there, kind of a staggering lack of interest as years go on? I don't really know. There might be a case where, like, maybe people's characters got in and now they just, like, don't really care that much. Might be a fair assumption to make. I would argue they probably don't like the game that much then, if they're just playing it because a character they like is in it. They probably don't care about the longevity of the game in general. There's also factors like who can vote, how many times you can vote. It is also a daily process, so sometimes you would forget. But again, all of these things are indicative of less people voting means less votes in general. And I know that there are also factors for, like, vote authenticity. Botting has always been kind of a huge nightmare situation. I don't remember which particular year caused the uproar with George. But he's in one of these years where he got botted into oblivion and then became like the freebie kind of Choose Your Legends side pick that took place the one year, and then they instituted, like, you need a Nintendo account. But I feel like it was before this, I want to say. And again, this was like the biggest drop off from year 6 to 7. But all those factors aside, there has been a severe lack of voting in general in recent years. And the interesting thing is you can kind of see a trend after this fall off. So, like, in here, you have, like, some old-timey classics, plus Camilla. Because, like, Camilla's just way too powerful, But, like, I would argue classic Fire Emblem is, like, pre-DS times. So, like, your old school NES, SNES, Game Boy, GameCube, I think. Or no, Radiant Dawn was the Wii, which I guess is still technically retro, which is kind of crazy. But, like, classic Fire Emblem. And then, obviously, the Fates and Awakening era kind of ushered in this new abundant middle ground type situation. And then after that, we just had an utter dominance of, like, the new game that came out. That obviously being Three Houses, year 4, the House Leader year. And then you had more Three Houses dominating with, like, a little bit of classic revival. And then after that, you had some more classic, some more Awakening fandom, and then the trickle in of, like, the remaining Three Houses interest is what I would probably call it. Because I have to get the House Leaders, and then whatever that ended up being, the byleth of it all is there. And it's kind of apparent here too with Awakening, where you had Robin following behind Chrom, and then Tiki, and then whatever popular Awakening character insert. There's a lot. My issue with the DS era of games is that there's just a lot of characters that all have, like, this ability to stand out in players' minds as, like, their favorites. Whereas some of, like, the way older generations, like in Genealogy or Shadow Dragon, like stuff like that, they still had a lot of characters. There's a big cast, but not everybody was as memorable, which I think is why there tends to be a lot of vote splitting on that. But your classic titles tend to have more, like, consolidated push. But just an observation on my part. No real evidence to back that up. And now we're kind of entering this weird stage where Heroes is starting to, like, take a more dominant approach in it. Like, the really popular titles have had a lot of their really popular options in. A lot of your main character playables. Soren, for some reason. But the year of Golvig was really like the time when it started happening. Golvig came out. There was this weird like mix between Gooner obsession and then also memeability because like she was the main villain of that book, and then she was also hot. So it was like this perfect storm of like how complicated could they make a brave version of Golvig? And to that end, I think they did a really cool thing with her alt. I did a video on this years ago where I broke down the little like hidden nuances of Brave Golvig and like signs that she was like reverting from Golvig back to Sather, or there's this weird middle ground where she was like part Sather, part Golvig, and like we stopped the cycle and she was like caught in this like middle area of weird transformation into Golvig situation. It was genuinely one of the cooler approaches that they have taken to a lot of Choose Your Legends characters, because a lot of these are just like, look at our new Lord outfits that look almost identical to our legendary outfits, or look, I'm dressed up like my brother or my dad, and or you know, insert whatever. Marth literally becoming just red version Marth. You know what I mean? From Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like, it's that he was supposed to be Henri, but it just looked like red Marth from Smash Bros. Some of them have been kind of lazy. Okay, and arguably they don't get overly creative most of the time. Golvig kind of shifted the post in that, in my opinion. And then we had, it kind of happened again with Alphonse the year after that, right? We still had some like Three Houses revival because you can't stop Fodlan. It's just a force of nature. And then also Awakening, which is up there in terms of popularity. And then this most recent year, we had even more heroes taking place alongside Three Houses again. So like the last few years have all been very stagnant in terms of like titling. I would argue that Soren is like the most obscure pick here. And prior to that, there hadn't really been many obscure picks out of like maybe Gatekeeper. I would say that's kind of an anomaly. But most of the time, it's like very popular second tier characters like Lysithea or Marianne, and then main tier being like your lords and your main characters and all that. It's not really rocket science, you know. Most of the time, characters with the most screen time get the most votes. That's kind of where it just ends up. But there are some anomalies like Soren that pop in there kind of randomly. But the last few years have been very like heroes dominant as well as like Fodlan dominant. Now that really the last great bastions of things like Fates and Awakening have been voted in and are no longer votable. So what does that mean for this year? You might be wondering. Because if you're unaware, we kind of know when Fortune's Weave is coming out now. Uh-oh. I will not confirm or deny anything, but I will say I was anticipating, and I said this back in like December, January, when, you know, stuff had been announced, but nothing had really been talked about. I had anticipated a springtime release. The caveat being that a fall-winter release would probably sell much better, but it could be as soon as like February, March. But I was anticipating a spring release. Without confirming anything, I will say sometimes I'm pretty right about things. We'll leave it at that. So, all that said, new game, not votable. Not votable. Voting literally starts in a few days. It's not out yet. Not going to be eligible this year. Next year, it will be, and I would anticipate, given how dominant this year was, and how Fortune's Weave is like some sort of like reimagining or prequel sequel situation to Three Houses, but still somehow being in like a Fodlan-esque situation to some degree, I would anticipate a lot of characters are going to be very, very popular. Okay? So, that said, year 11, bless the game be that long, will probably be dominated by Fortune Weave characters. Let's just call it what it is. They're probably going to recycle everything that made Three Houses really great and popular and appealing and approachable. And they're going to try and lightning in the bottle that situation again. Whether or not it is successful, I'm sure it will produce a lot of characters that everybody really likes, for better or worse. And they will probably dominate the cycle. But that's not this year. That's year 11. This is year 10 that we are dealing with. So what's going to dominate the cycle this year? You can kind of look to stuff that has happened in previous voting cycles, basically looking at the top 10, kind of seeing what happens, right? And we'll start here. Alm, Micaiah, Elliewood, Camilla. Then you have Marth. Anna fans have never gotten it together, so the votes have always been split. Crom, Robin, Erica, Bruno is here, Corin, Azura, right? And as you scroll, you kind of start to see the same repeats of future winners that will come down the line in years, but you just don't realize it yet because foresight is not a thing we have. Only Heimdall has that. Hero's Joke. Nailed it. But you can see, like, Felix, Bernadetta, Soren, Corin, they're all kind of, like, in these higher voting tiers from prior years before they have won. Kind of not terribly surprising that they would, eventually go on to win as both voting numbers go down, as well as the really popular characters that came before them are no longer votable because that's how the rules work. There are no double Braves. That comes a year after the fact when they get a harmonized version of that stuff. This game is fun. Anyway, so looking at the last couple years, there were kind of some standouts to me that I want to make some cold predictions. We're gonna do some off the cuff Preds tonight. Okay. Looking back at year 8, at year 7, there's a couple that stand out to me that have always been in like the top 10-ish area. Okay, number 1, and it should be no surprise if you scroll even just a little bit on last year's results, Azura. Azura has always been like in that area of top 10 females voted in terms of characters. So it would not be terribly surprising to me. There are moments, perhaps, where people feel like this one just got an alt, so like we don't need another alt of it. I don't know how much sway that kind of has. There may have been indicators of that in the past. If I'm going to be blunt, I don't think Azura fans want it bad enough. I'll say it. I'll be brave. This was year 3. She was number 7. Three Houses came out, not even in the top 10, bro. Not even. Azura voters jumped shit for Fodlan, it seems. Just right off the, what do they call it? Gangplank? Is that what you walk across? I don't know. Whatever board you walk across on a ship to dive into the ocean or something. Anyway, pirate puns. And then she came back, which is cool. But now she's kind of dominated the top 5 over the last couple of years. So even though she literally got an alt last week, I don't know if that's enough to really deter her. I think Azura fans don't want it bad enough. Call me a villain. I'm just saying it like I see it. Okay? I don't think y'all want it bad enough. Ivy. Decent chance. Relatively popular. Literally just got a winter alt too, which I had forgotten about. But here she is. Still up there. Engage is relatively newer though. So you don't have a lot of historical voting placement for her. Just the last 2 years really. But still beating Alir. And that's it. I guess Veil technically. I don't really know if top 10s count, but there you go. Yunaka is also like a pretty big front runner. I'll get to Tsubasa. Calm down. I can feel you popping off. All you Tokyo Mirage heads being like, what about Tsubasa? I know. I'll get there. Valir is another option that's a clear pick. Hilda is too. Tharsha, I don't think has a shot. Respectfully, she's always kind of been here, even as far back as 3. She's been in top 10, and she's just kind of bounced around ever since. You know, sometimes being in top 10, sometimes not. But she's always hovered towards the back end of the top 10. She's never really broken that top 5 barrier. So I don't think it's likely. And I feel the same about Alencia for what it's worth. As much as that pains me, as much as I desperately want some kind of Path of Radiance revival on the virtual console, if you have a Switch 2, to enlighten players to suddenly care about Alencia, like this is the time. I'm secretly hoping, coping for something like that to happen, but I don't think it will. Okay. And then obviously Tsubasa also has taken kind of like this weird cult skyrocket last year. I'm not really sure what caused that or what prepped it, but it's there, obviously. She wasn't really here. I think she's always kind of been like top 50, top 20, given the year. But last year was like, whoa, what the heck? What are we doing in 5th? So take that for what you will. I think it could be a Tsubasa year. And I think it would be funny if they forced Intelligent Systems to probably pay for the licensing on this. This is how, I don't know how the licensing for Tokyo Mirage Sessions works. I'm assuming that they don't have the licensing for certain characters. Otherwise, we'd probably have them by then. You know what I mean? Like, Maiko has also kind of been, like, consistently voted. Itsuki has also been, like, pretty consistently voted in, like, the top 20-50 situation. And frankly, they're running out of characters not already in the game in the top 50. So it's like, you know, if they could license them, if they just had free use of all the TMS characters, I feel like we'd probably have a banner of them, or at least some other kind of like weird alt, like a singing festival or something like that, where they were present, but they just don't. So I think it would be funny if Intelligence had to pay out the nose to get a Tsubasa Brave alt in the game for some reason. But I'd be down for that. Realistically, I think Yunaka wins this year. I'm not really sure why. It's just kind of a gut feeling I have. I think Yunaka and Hilda have like a pretty good shot, because I think the 3 houses heads, after now Byleth being out, as well as Felix, there's really not a big rallying. I guess Yuri's kind of popular. I don't think he has the smoke though. I think Hilda has the smoke. I'm terrified of Hilda fans. They move in packs and they attack in waves, bro. Okay? Terrified of Hilda fans. Plus, she's got a shiny new figure coming out. Really nice scale model. Way more elaborate than the other Fire Emblem figures that they've released or plan to release. Looking at you, Dancer, Byleth, whatever the heck, with a really boring base. Worth the money, probably. Still insanely expensive, though. But there is some drive behind Hilda. Typically, if you get a scale figure released of that character, they're not going to put a bunch of money into developing that without the knowledge that someone's going to want to buy it. You know what I mean? So take that for what it's worth. I think they kind of know behind the scenes that Hilda has some motion. Yunaka is always like a really popular choice for a lot of people. So really what it comes down to, I think, is like players consolidating the votes and who they kind of like target. If that doesn't happen, I would probably anticipate some sort of like heroes dominance. I know there are naysayers about Fimbulvator, okay? The pantsless ice cyborg lady I, based on conversations I have had with colleagues, okay, nobody thinks she has motion. I never underestimate the Gooners, okay? First and foremost. Additionally, there is that factor of like, is a villain, is now our ally. It happened with Balder, kind of happened with Eikthenir, definitely happened with Golthig back here in year 7. So I never really discount that. But I think probably my top 3 picks, probably Fimbulvator, probably Ivy, probably Unaka. Those are probably my top 3 picks. I think if Tsubasa voters get it together, it could be insane. And frankly, I would be willing to just throw a bunch of votes there. Even though I stand on principle, Nagi would be one of the coolest Brave options in terms of like what they could do with that character as a Brave hero. But knowing my luck, even if she did get in, she would just get like some sort of like basic Naga alt. It's like, did you vote for Nagi or did you vote for Naga? Who knows? It's probably just another Tiki skin. Similar to what happened with Brave Tiki when she won. So I don't have high hopes for that. But I think the safe bets are probably there. In terms of the men's side, bro, I genuinely, dead ass, on God, think Fomortis and Black Knight are going to win it. I think people are going to be like, dude, Legendary Black Knight was insane. What if Brave Black Knight? And again, perhaps, Cope. I'm just thinking like, oh, maybe there's just like a crazy amount of Path of Radiance revival excitement. I don't know. I think Black Knight could win it. I think Black Knight has a lot of popularity. I think Fomortis has a lot of popularity. That said, Sigurd will come in third. Tragically. Always the bridesmaid. If I had to pick, Sigurd is definitely in my top 3 for clutching out. But I don't think anybody else has the motion. I think a lot of Itsuki voters are probably going to, walk over to the Tsubasa side of things and consolidate there. Because if you look at the voting here, if everybody who votes for Itsuki and Crom in the TMS fandom, right, move their 3,000 votes over to the Tsubasa army, you're looking at like 10k plus votes. And now if you look up here, that's pretty close to a first or second place vote. So these are kind of the things to keep in mind where if you have some behind the scenes collusion, okay, like Anna voters, for example, if everybody consolidated and united on one solid goal, we'd have had Brave Anna by now. No denying that. I think TMS might be engaged in that capacity, and you could see a vote consolidation in that way. But I think in terms of like the men's side, it's way easier to figure out. I think it's Sigurd, Fomortis, Black Knight, top 3, easy. Probably a 10th place Tharja. Who knows? But those are my Choose Your Legends predictions, as well as like a little bit of history on the last, half decade or so, and just some observations I've made along the way. So if this ends up being a video, let me know your thoughts. If you're live in stream right now, let me know your thoughts. And we will talk about them further. But that's all I have to share from my perspective currently. And I hope that Alencia wins. Or Nagi. I'd be down for either of those. Or just Black. I'd also be down for Black Knight. But it's not going to matter after next year. Fortune's Weave! It's coming. Can't stop it. Do you think they'll throw shadows in the poll? I think they will. I believe that they view Shadows as like a legitimate Fire Emblem game. Similar to the way Super Mario Bros. 2 is a legitimate Super Mario Bros. Game. I mean, it's gonna do numbers. I think that game is hurting, if I may be so bold. But there's no reason for them not to include it because we technically already have somebody from that title being Horse Girl Lynn. There is a monocumer of options for Lynn. One of them is Shadows, which is kind of interesting because I don't think we have a Shadows filter yet, do we? Hang on, I'm looking. Yeah, it lists Shadows. And I'm pretty sure on her trailer it has like the Shadows logo. But there is no Shadows filter in here. Which honestly I would have thought would have happened with 10.0. But it didn't. So I also don't really know where their head's at with all that. I was honestly expecting like Lion Dimitri or Bear Ike to show up in Heroes by now, and they just haven't. So it feels real out of place just having a Horse Girl win, though. I will put pedal to the metal on that one. I will also be collecting people's votes like I have in previous years. Last year it got a little dicey, but it wasn't out of the norm like crazy. Y'all were still like pretty dead on with your top 4 predictions. Or I guess not even predictions, just polling. Because I didn't ask you what you thought. I literally just scanned your ballots and counted everything. I was a poll worker for like a week. What are the odds do you think either version of Shez might move up? Pretty low. Honestly. I don't know where they landed in this year. But they've never. Well, let me take that back briefly. Have they cracked? They have cracked top 10 once, I think. The women's side is like, I think 2 dominated. But Shezbro did technically crack top 10 in year 8. But it was still only 3K votes. Almost 4K. Which is like half of what you need to win something, supposedly. So, I don't... It's not likely. But you know what? All you Fodland heads out there, it's okay. Y'all will have your time to reign and be hated by every other player again next year. Trust in that process. Because there's going to be some kind of DLC in Fortune's Weave where it's like time travel or something to tie everything together between the past and the present. And you're going to get brand new Edelgard alts and brand new Dimitri alts, and, you know, ancestors are going to meet their predecessors, and, you know, you'll have a grand old time again. I promise. That is a cash cow they would never forfeit. So that will happen again. But at least for the Shez heads out there, I don't think it's likely. But even so, like, not to be like, I sound very pessimistic about it, This was a Warriors game. Let that, like, sink for a second. This is a Warriors game. This is not even, like, real Fire Emblem. Air quotes, real Fire Emblem. Where it's, like, a tactical RPG. This is like Fire Emblem Warriors. Who, you know, there was a game before 3 Hopes. And I don't think, I mean, shoot, what's his name? The dark-haired guy, whatever his name was. I think it started with a D. Like, he's cool, but then you have the blonde twins who are like kind of lame, you know, and none of them ever had like any kind of traction. Darius, yes, thank you, Darius. Darius is cool. I won't spoil why he's cool, but he's cool. So, like, the Warriors games, the side grades, they don't really get a lot of voting. This is still wildly impressive. But I think it's also because it's, you know, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, technically. Technically. I think Fodlan heads are just way too powerful for what it is. But, you know, if you're given the option, okay, of voting for a Shez or a Hilda, you're probably going to vote for a Hilda. If you're given the option to vote for a Shez, you know, over a Yuri, you're probably going to vote for a Yuri. You know what I mean? So, it's not likely. It's possible, but it's not likely. I hope we don't get more of the trio versions. I mean, we will. That is an inevitability, unfortunately. It's going to happen regardless. It's like Pikachu can be somebody's favorite Pokemon. You know what I mean? Whether you want more Pikachu or not, you're gonna get more Pikachu. Like, that is how the Pokemon content merch factory just kind of works. So, whether you love or hate Edelgard, you're gonna get more Edelgard shoved down your throat. Whether you love or hate Lucina, you're gonna get more Lucina shoved down your throat. There's a point where it's like player fan service to get certain characters in, and then there's like the business fan service where they know something's gonna sell really well. Sometimes it is very much a money decision that they make, which we are all very cognizant of. But it will happen. Watch Rowan win Choose Your Legend. You know what? I'm curious. I'm gonna assume he's not top 200. Wow. Okay. Is he top 100? Oh my god, he's top 100 or top 200? Oh, he's not. Wait. That's Rosado. Did I just spell his name wrong? Is he not even in here? Wait, I don't even think he's in here. Are they votable? Oh, Warriors isn't votable. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, wait, no, I'm tripping. Sure. Surely there's one person dead ass who's gonna vote for a Rowan. There's a Ronan. Can we commandeer those votes for him? I guess, like, if you think critically about the first Warriors game, there's, like, maybe... technically, like, maybe 5 characters you could vote for. So, like, maybe it makes sense to not include them. Maybe Koei Tecmo just owns it. I don't know. I like Rowan. Well, I love that for you, Ben. I love that for you, dog. Frost. Who had the least votes? 2 votes. 2 people voted for Barth and Feld. I think these votes down here are kind of interesting because it's like, oh, y'all couldn't even go the full ballot. Like, Murdoch fans, where you at? Not even all days? Hurtful. Alfric, I understand, though. That makes sense to me. Respectfully. Hortensia, I will literally uninstall the game. Your name is Oblivion Knight Hortensia Enjoyer? That's crazy. That's crazy. Will they list Fire Emblem Shadows? We talked like 10 minutes ago about this, kind of. To briefly recap, there's no reason why they wouldn't. We technically have someone from Shadows in Heroes now. There's just not a filter for them for whatever reason. So yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to. The cast is certainly big enough. They pump out enough content about them. There's already been a crossover. I don't think it will matter because I don't think that game has motion. But the game itself has not, like, again, the comparison I constantly make. Super Mario Bros. 2 was a reskin of Doki Doki Panic with Mario characters. Fire Emblem Shadows is like an Among Us-esque style game reskinned with Fire Emblem characters. Mario Bros. 2 is still a legitimate Mario Bros. Game. No different than how they view Three Hopes as a legitimate Fire Emblem game, even though it is a Warriors game. Shez is votable. You know, the versions of Fodlan characters in both Three Houses and Three Hopes are votable. There's really no reason not to. I think it probably comes down to, like, where intellectual properties lie. If I had to guess. But I would assume that since we've had, like, multiple, like, main title Fire Emblem characters in Shadows, that it, you know, there's some kind of intermixing happening with that, similar to the direction between Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Fire Emblem. So, Toma over Tsubasa. I'd rather have Maiko over anybody. Give me my boozy director of operations, bro. She just wants to kick back with some wine. I think she drank beer. It's never gonna happen though. We're not strong enough. The Myco army's not strong enough, not coordinated enough. It's not gonna happen. Tragically. But we'll see. The first part of Boozy? What? She do be drinking. That's like fairly classic Myco. But like, hear me out. 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 Have you seen Myco's outfit from the DLC? Do you know where this is inspired from? So, like, Azura fans. I'm just saying, we could unite. Myco is actually playable on a DLC. On the Wii U. Many people's favorite Nintendo console of all time. The Wii U. Just throwing it out there. Manuela? Dude, like, I don't understand why Manuela is not more popular. Genuinely. I love Manuela. She is a mess. She's a mess, and I love that about her. She's real, dude. I like the more real characters in terms of like newer games. I like when I can relate to somebody. I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for. No. Maybe. I don't know. I think I've agitated enough like diehard Fae players that they don't fuck with me anymore. So I don't think I have emotion like that in that regard. So it's fine. I probably could. If someone wins that Reddit doesn't like, I will probably still be the brunt of that. It literally happened last year. Not to like make it a thing or anything, because I usually just downplay stuff, but like it's like, dude, come on. If a lady with big boobs wins, it's not my fault. I know you think it is, but it's not. Okay? I'm not part of the Gooner Nation, all right? I don't know what to tell y'all. We know you're voting for Nagi. I mean, I'll always throw a vote for Nagi. That's my like that's my dream pick. Actually, you know what? You know what? I kind of feel genuinely I'm like, dude, there's this small little hope in the back of my head where like now that we're like bouncing around with Thor all the time and she's like saving us and stuff, Maybe there will be some kind of like Thor revival. But I doubt it. It's wildly unlikely that that will happen. Actually, what was where was Thor last year? Hold on, let me look. Oh. Do I be optimistic to start? $160. That's not bad. 160 is respectable. All 314 votes. I was one of them. Bless up. But like, also, we're getting a new Thor ult this year anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You know? Dude, Niles got more votes than Thor. That is so disappointing. That's so disappointing, bro. Rutger got more votes than Thor. Bruh. Franz got more votes than Thor by like 100. Franz, the new 4-star on the banner nobody cares about right now, got more votes than Thor. Oh, God. That hurts. That hurts my body. I'm physically ill right now. I mean, some of these make sense, but like most of them don't. Actually, the more you get up through like the top 100, like 100 to 150 are kind of like most engaged characters, I think, from what I just skimmed. Maiko. That's big. I love that. Hell yeah. It's not gonna make a difference. It is negligible. But like, you know, Stefan happened. Maiko could too. Are we kidding? Are we actually kidding here, man? Ah, sad. Black Knight was 13th overall. That gives me a lot of hope, actually. Niles is more popular than Thor? I know. Don't think about it. It'll hurt. It'll hurt too much, man. Just try not to think about it too much. If you don't think about it, it can't hurt you. Just remember. Judith Rodrigue. I mean, they'll probably be like top 100, top 150. The weird thing about these, like, I don't know, the middle ground characters, I guess I'll call them. I feel like they're like the people that vote for those characters are oddly like determined for some reason, and they believe that something good can happen, or that, and they'll just vote them blindly regardless. I used to be one of those people. I now know that that's a wasted vote. That is an outlier. But I think that most people will probably just vote for who they know, because that's who they know, and that makes sense to them, and then they will vote that. I think the winners in Choose Your Legends are genuinely decided by those who like shift their votes. So if they see the results come out, they don't see anybody they're voting for in like the top whatever 20, I think it is. They move to the winner. Kind of like the people in Voting Gauntlet, where like they pick the one they like the most the first round and then they lose. And then they say, well, I'm on Team Feathers. And then they just join who they think is like going to get them the most bang for their buck. That's kind of what winners are made from for this now. With this level of voting that we have, that's who decides the dubs. Again, just my observation. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings when I say that. But there's only so much individual voters can do, you know? And honestly, I've seen y'all's ballots. Okay? I've collected them for many years now. Half of y'all don't even finish out the voting period. You miss a day or something. There are several ballots every year where they vote for one character the first 2 days and then they just stop. It happens. And I'll also caveat, I don't think a lot of like community organizing, like, I know I'm not throwing daggers here. I have no beef with the Reddit community. But like many online communities in general, they think their poll is much bigger than it actually is. I genuinely believe there is one person who could influence Choose Your Legends voting, and it's dead ass only Phoenix Master 1. That's it. I don't think any kind of community rallying and subreddits or discords or anything like that, like even what I was doing for years with like the Tiki year or the Golvig year, which I really didn't do anything for the Golvig year. I just took the SEO for it because I was getting blamed for it anyway. I don't think 200 likes on a Twitter post or like 150 reshares of an Instagram reel is gonna get you to 20,000 votes. Okay, it's just not. Like, realistically, put the egos aside for a second. I don't think it actually impacts much. Like, genuinely. It might impact early stuff with like what is it, the pre-midterm stuff. But after the fact, it's just like, okay. It ultimately just comes down to people just following through. Empty ballots don't win elections. That's just you know. This is real. This is real life. This is real life. If Fimbulvitr wins, I will gladly take the blame. I'm gonna start a rumor. I'm gonna start a rumor that Satachi wanted Fimbulvitr to win, and that's why she won. And speaking from past experience, I would encourage you to put out so many videos. Whether for praise or hate, you will get mad cash when you do that. It's crazy. What color weapon would you give your choice of heroes? What does that mean? Like, what go-to weapon? I love a giant axe. Like, if I were gonna do a D&D campaign, or any like anything like that, even when I play like Dark Souls and stuff, my instant is to just go with like a giant axe. Big axe, big power, big man. That is my play all the time. 100%. Swords are cool, but they're overplayed. Axes are dope. And they come in many different like shapes, sizes, designs. Some can have like filigree and stuff. They're just cool. They're just cool. Likes on the post does not equal a vote. Dude, I know. That's the so like full disclosure, and some of you may have been in here when this happened. I had like kind of a pseudo discussion with because in recent years, because I've been doing these for like I don't know 5 years. I've been tallying like all you guys' ballots and stuff. Like I've done a lot of Choose Your Legends like early post voting polling. Um, I had like kind of a pseudo discussion, I think, with somebody that was doing the same from Reddit. And this dude was basically taking people's verbal votes and then tallying them all up, specifically within the subreddit. That's a bad way to do polling, okay? A, you're siloed for sample. I put feelers out on multiple different socials. The bulk of them came from YouTube, obviously, but you know, that is what it is. But it allowed other people, other colleagues of mine to also share and get, you know, votes from them too. So there was a much broader sample size from multiple different things because not everybody lives on Reddit. I know Reddit can be a place where it's like if you're a Redditor, Reddit is your central focus and it's what you live and breathe by. But other people are only on like Instagram. Other people are only on Twitter. Some people are only on Blue Sky. So you got to find them too to get like a broad sample size. But this person was basically just like collecting people's like typed vote, like, oh, I voted for Dimitri. And so they would catalog a Dimitri vote. And it's like, bro, you can't do that. You know, like the polling that I do is legitimately I'm looking at hundreds of submissions and I'm tallying every single time. That's what I'm doing. It is a long, arduous, awful process, but I do it, and that's why it's usually pretty accurate because I try and get like a pretty broad sample of a smaller subsect of the voting. But I try and be like as thorough as possible with like actual ballots. You know what I mean? Um, and like I remember either I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but our two predictions were vastly different. It was the eighth in your year. It was last year. Everybody in that subreddit was like, eighth year's not going to win. There's no way. That's crazy. And here I am, top contender, saying, yeah, eighth year's got it in the bag. And I was getting flamed for it, bro. I mean, look, if you want real votes, then you like, and you know what? I wish they would. Genuinely. I wish there would be some sort of collaboration. I would be down for that because I feel like the network that the subreddit has is way more vast than what I can achieve. You know what I mean? Like I, in my own sense, am still siloed. I work very hard to like branch from just my individual channel. Um, but you know, as far as like reach, the subreddit reach is much further than what I have for sure. But it's also much more siloed, and so. But for what it's worth, yeah, Ignir won. My process is a little more diligent than just taking like verbal affirmations of like who you voted for. But you know, I've been doing this for a minute, so it is what it is. And again, not flaming anybody, not, you know, I'm just saying process is different. Results yielded are different. That's kind of how it is. Do you think Choose Your Legends is not rigged? No, it's not rigged. Not in the sense that like they have predetermined the winners and the voting is all farce. It's definitely not rigged in that capacity. There may be some botting for sure. Which they try and mitigate. Surely. I mean, look, you had to have a Riot account, not to bring everything back to Riftbound, but you had to have a Riot account ID registered to buy the Rift Round packs that they were selling on the Riot Games merch store last week or earlier this week. Bots still got them all. you know? So, like, there's only so much you can do. And let's be honest, Nintendo is not exactly top tier in terms of, like, their internet savvy presence. Okay? Like, let's just call it what it is. They're pretty bad at that. How many times has the results webpage been, like, leaked ahead of time? Because they were like, oh, nobody will type in this URL. There's no need to put, like, a security block on it. Like, dude, come on. That's crazy. So, I'm sure there's some botting. I think sometimes people just don't care. I think a lot of the meme botting has kind of subsided a bit. And the hype around that has died down a little bit. But no, I don't genuinely I don't think they would predetermine that. And the reason is I don't think they have to. Because they know who's popular. They put them on banners all the time. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanna look at like predetermined outcomes, like they plan all the banners throughout the year. They know who the popular picks are. They don't they don't need to. And it would be really stupid too, right? Because like Choose Your Legend, the whole point of Choose Your Legends is to give something to people that they want, you know? Plus, they use the Choose Your Legends voting results to pick like future banner characters throughout the latter half of the year into the first half of the next year. That's how Stefan got in the fall. You know what I mean? So if they were going to organize some kind of like, shady cabal of well, this year it's going to be gold, you know what I mean? They'd be doing themselves genuinely a disservice. Cuz that's valuable data that they would just kind of be taking away from themselves in a way. Any characters in the previous top 20 might drastically decrease. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we looked at it. There's year what 4, 5, 5, whatever your Crom and Tiki won. Like voting just fell so hard after that year. It went literally from like the 30s and 40s down to like the tens of thousands of votes. Like it was low. You know what I mean? I don't know why there's a drop off of interest. Like the series in general, Fire Emblem has a lot of really well developed, lovable characters. I think a big issue is just the exposure. I think a lot of people have not played a lot of the games, and they don't have a huge. I mean, look, I'm not trying to call Satachi out when I say this, but Satachi's a really good example that I'm going to highlight right now. So thank you for volunteering, Satachi, to be the brunt of my example. Satachi is like the Edelgard guy, right? Had not experienced Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, ended up really also loving Lucia, right? So sometimes when you don't like, oh, I don't know, physically lock your game behind an incredibly expensive paywall and you allow your players to play all the games in your series, which they're putting them on virtual console. That's great. Sometimes they're JP exclusive though, and that's dumb. Okay. But if you're able to go back and play the older games, you might like it. But if you never get a chance to experience them, then you won't have that opportunity and you'll never know. And so why would you vote for characters in a game that you've never played? Voting as a science just comes down to gut feeling. If people like what they see, they like what they know is comfortable, and they're good with it, they'll just vote that. Local elections are decided like this all the time, just to give like a real world example. Okay? You can present people with facts, logic, all kinds of shit. It doesn't matter. People are just going to vote with their guts. Okay? And so, in a situation like Choose Your Legends, when you've not played a game and you have no, it's like, would you vote for the character you've known for 10 years? Or would you vote for the stranger that you've never met? Like, obviously, you're going to vote for a character you know, at least, the name of and the face of, who you maybe don't even like that much, versus something you've never seen before and have no recollection of. Like, that, it's not really, it's not super complicated. The GBA games? Fire Emblem 4. Yeah, don't worry about genealogy. Don't worry about that. Sacred Stones is a nice little romp, though, for what it's worth. And that one is available on Virtual Console, too. So, if anybody's ever looking for, like, a classic Fire Emblem that's, like, really, really easy to get into, Sacred Stones. 100%. It's relatively easy. The characters are all very pretty. And it's, there's a split route to make things a little interesting. But it's very, very approachable. But my point being, Stachi got to play Path of Radiance Radiant Dawn, made him a Lucy fan. And now he has a second wife, and that's how that works. Do you think Fortune's Weave is going to take over next? Yeah. And I talked a little bit about this too at the time, so I won't rehash it too much. But it has a couple threats in that it is a new title. It is familiar enough for people, but different enough that it gives them an excuse to vote Fodlan again. So it's got hype and familiarity, but it's also technically something new. Several threats that will likely cause it to dominate both 11 and 12. Similar to how Three Houses kind of dominated 4 and 5. With the Gatekeeper Marianne in 5 and then the House Leaders in 4. And the cast in general seems good. I can't remember her name off top of head. But the one lady very much seems to have a backstory similar to Primrose from Octopath. So I'm already interested in that because Primrose's story was incredible in Octopath 1. I guarantee you talk to Zishao, he'll say the same exact thing. If you haven't played Octopath Traveler, you definitely should. You absolutely should do that. Which reminds me, I have to play 0 now. I have a definitive timeline as to when I need to get through 0 versus when what's his name comes out, Fortune's Weave. But no, it's not going to be like Engage, where stuff was like kind of just different. Also, Engage was an anniversary title. It, you know, for what it's worth, Engage was not trying to be a good Fire Emblem game. It was trying to be a good Fire Emblem fan service. And that does not always resonate with people who are just interested in the gameplay. But it's great for merch. You know, look at emblems. It's really good for side games too. Tons of content with that. Not to degrade Engage. I liked Engaged. I liked Engage a lot. I think my biggest issue with Engage is actually it didn't have New Game Plus. So to go through and play the DLC, you legitimately had to like clear parts of the game again. And you couldn't bring those characters back with you in the beginning, which I think is a mistake. Because it literally would not have disrupted anything. And obviously, if you're playing with like Celestia in maps where you're like fighting Zephia, okay. You've beaten the game. You already know that that's weird. It's not going to like, you know, it's not going to throw you for a loop for like, ooh, my immersion. You've already beaten the game. It doesn't matter. And if you don't want that, you can just start a new game file, which you have to do by default now anyway. It's sad. It's a bummer. But I really want a New Game Plus. That would have been way better. And Three Houses had New Game Plus. New Game Plus is not like a foreign concept, you know? It's pretty standard most of the time. A Fortune's Weave playthrough. I will probably do like a weekend marathon situation. Is probably what I'll end up doing. I've done playthroughs in the past where it's like I have to break it up over like 2 months. I think we get it, and I think we just crush it in a weekend. And I think that will likely be my approach. I don't know. I may also just play it offline and post it as a VOD and just no life it over the weekend. I don't know. I think a third was made with Faye in mind. Maybe. That is possible. I would argue that Heroes is meant, and the dev team has said as much, at least in the past. I don't know if that's still the case. But Heroes is meant to be this like conglomerate of Fire Emblem that just pacifies your time between the main title releases. And so, you know, which informs the other, I don't know. I still think the main titles are meant to be main titles, and then Heroes is intended to take content from those titles and provide layover content until the next title comes out. But who's to say which end of the snake is the head at this point? You know? Like Heroes is very clearly an integrated process in the Fire Emblem life cycle in general. They've said that. They have indicated like this is what we're doing away with Cypher because Cypher was the TCG that was intended to give you Fire Emblem content between the main title games. We can now do that with Heroes. There is no point in continuing Cypher. They said that. Dagger to my heart, they said that. So, you know, I think it's all just one big machine, you know? Like, Pokemon's very similar in this, too. Not to bring everything back to Pokemon, but it is one of the largest gaming franchises. The Pokemon video games, the games, those come out to introduce new Pokemon. Those new Pokemon then get put into the new booster packs that come out 4 months later. And those Pokemon that get put on the cards also become merch, like plushies, playmats, and hats, and hoodies. So the main title games exist to introduce new Pokemon to you in like a bigger, more grander way than just like a cardboard reveal. But the cardboard exists because it's much more collectible and profitable. Which is why you have Pokemon games pumped out every like 2 years or so to introduce like a new gen. So the cycle can continue. You know what I mean? But who's to say what the primary factor is between Pokemon? Is it the video game or is it the TCG? Well, they both kind of inform each other. Like they're all part of that like bigger picture of stuff. You know what I mean? So, for what that's worth, whenever you have a franchise that becomes very merchandised, and I would argue that Fire Emblem has kind of tipped towards that a little bit in at least recent years. Because I remember a time when I had to import stuff from Ami because they're just like there was not Fire Emblem merch. I would, you know, rush at the chance to get any kind of like individual artists that was putting out something on Etsy because it's like, ooh, Nagi merch, cool. Marth, I remember him. It's nowhere near like the bigger ones are. Like, you can walk into a Target and find Mario merchandise somewhere. It's not on that level. But it's getting there. They're at least producing more of it. It's not necessarily localized. A lot of it still has to be imported in some way. You can't just walk into a hobby shop and buy like a Fire Emblem figure. But they're at least producing it, and then third-party vendors like Good Smile will import it, and you can buy it from them directly, or Crunchyroll, and stuff like that. The Amiibo characters, yeah, Amiibo were for a long time. Amiibo was legitimately the only thing you could get that was Fire Emblem related, and not like a JP import. But Three Houses is the only Fire Emblem game that gets merged. No, there's other. I would argue Awakening is probably the second biggest merch tier for Fire Emblem. It is a lot of Three Houses. I mean, they made dinner plate sets for God's sake. Like that's wild. Genuinely, that's wild. But Awakening gets a fair amount of statues too every now and then. There was a Lucina one not that long ago that got announced. I don't know if it actually came out yet, but it's out there. It is definitely skewed, but to say only is not, I think, a fair assessment. But it's definitely skewed, for sure. But, two sides of the coin. Three Houses was legitimately the biggest success that Fire Emblem has had. And then they had Engage. And it was not nearly as successful. And now they're going back to Fortune's Weave, which is also Three Houses adjacent in some capacity. Sothis is there, at least. So, No, it's only since like 2023. It's only. Okay, Aqua, I feel like you're in your feelings, and I respect that. I'm gonna hard disagree with you that it's only. But you feel your feelings, and I will respect that. What would you say is the FE7 of Fire Emblem? Oh, Final Fantasy 7. I wrote the second F as an E. Hmm. 7. I feel like 7 is definitely Three Houses. For sure. It's like the most known. It is the most mascotted. I would argue before Three Houses, it would have been Awakening. Lucina was like the new mascot at that point. And I don't know if there's like a character from Three Houses that is like as central as a mascot as like Lucina kind of was for a while. Because like when you think of Final Fantasy, you're just like, oh, Cloud's there. I mean, Cloud is on like the booster box for the Magic Final Fantasy collab. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's anybody from Three Houses that is that uniquely centered as the mascot, but I would say title wise, notoriety wise, you're probably looking at Three Houses compared to Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. But Awakening coming before that for sure. I mean, Awakening like saved the series, right? Like that was going to be the last one unless they sold enough copies and all that. But Awakening was a very well put together game. It mixed a lot of like approachability in terms of gameplay and how you customize that yourself. It did a lot of like good fan service that a lot of like old heads would realize, but also like new players can enjoy without getting lost in all the lore. It legitimately, that is a really well directional game. Like Awakening is just good. Anybody that tells you it's not is just a hater. Objectively, it's just a good. It's good. It had a really good direction. It had a really good narrative. It had a really good vision, and they executed on it very well. That's where it is. Rare or Saros will be in Fortune's Weave. I don't know. I'm not really sure where timelines converge on that. But I would assume probably. Yeah. Three Houses is Final Fantasy 7 tier or Final Fantasy 14 tier? I mean, so like, here's where I don't like to compare. Here's where I don't like to compare Final Fantasy 7 to things. That game to me has so much weight and so much impact on me individually and personally that it is very difficult to have it like match any other series or genre in terms of impact. On top of that, the message that it has is still very relevant today. Which I don't think can necessarily be said so effortlessly about a lot of fantasy stories. But that's probably part of the reason why a lot of people revile it as like the Final Fantasy, you know. But I don't know. It's I the message of Final Fantasy VII, especially like because I've played Final Fantasy VII several times throughout my life, all at different stages of my life. I played it as like a preteen. I played it as like a high school kid. I played it when I was in college. I played it, uh, in my late 20s. I played it with like the remake when that came out, and like it hits a little bit different every time because of where I'm at in my life. And I get something that's like a little bit like the nuances within the story. I get something a little bit different out of it every single time. And I take something away every time I do it. And that one scene is always like very painful. It never gets less painful. That's the crazy part. But like I feel like I will feel that way when I play Expedition 33 again in like 8 years down the road. And I will replay it again. You know. Thematically, that game is bigger to me personally than, you know, stuff that I compare it to. But I don't know. I'm not really sure where I thought I was going with this, but I hope it was at least somewhat coherent by the end of the sentence that I made. What if we get Saros as the old sage type? See, I don't know. Okay, here's my deal with Fortune's Weave. So take this as you will. Okay. I do not know where it is in the timeline. But I would have to assume that since Sothis is like older and bigger, that it is after the events of Three Houses in some capacity. The Sothis part. I'm assuming that what's going to happen is that the introduction of Fortune's Weave is happening in the post Three Houses world. So it's a sequel. But we are experiencing things from the past. So it's a prequel. It will take place physically post Three Houses, but the gameplay and the events of the game will all happen largely prior to the events of Three Houses. And so for that reason, I feel like they're kind of going to give everybody the best of both worlds, where you get to see what happened post Three Houses, but you also get all the questions answered of everything before Three Houses happened. And what happens in the past is going to affect what's happening in the present. And so you're going to be time hopping. That's what I hope that they do. Because it's a very convenient way to tell stories. But at the same time, it allows you to tell a really good one. So Sothis is looking into the future from the past. No, Sothis is looking into the past from the future. She's sending us back into the past while being in present day, post Three Houses. And we're changing or unraveling something that happened in the past for something that's wrong in the present. That's what I assume is going to happen. And I think if they're smart, they'll do that. They better. They better listen to everything I say. So help me. But I think they could do really effective storytelling and also, like, I don't know, do a lot of fan service in that regard too. So this lost her true form in 3 houses. Details, schmetails. There's plot armor for that. No harm, no foul. It may also not be like a direct 3 houses thing too. Like there could be some variability. Like House 3 Hopes was kind of like a reimagining side story type situation. Like there could be some of that. But I think fundamentally it will be very similar and it will be very familiar. Because ultimately, they want big sale number. They want big sale number. Engage did not do enough. They want more big sale number. What I have laid out to you is probably the most like surefire profitable way to do it. And this isn't new. Sending characters from the present into the past to affect the outcome of the future. I mean, you know, this is not new. They've been doing this shit. Back to the Future, perfect example. There's a whole movie about it. Whole movie series about it. And there was more, you know, less mainstream media approaches to storytelling in that regard too before all that. So but that's what I hope that they'll end up doing. Fingers crossed. Anyway, but we won't have to wait long. Like maybe, I don't know, no Nostradamus over here, 4 months. Maybe 4 months from now. Jenna sent me this picture of Zoe. She's playing with her treat puzzle. Oh, man. All right, hold on. I'm getting a grocery delivery, and something was out of stock. I'm really hoping it wasn't the thing that I didn't need to be out of stock. I'm really hoping it was not the roast, because that would be bad. I've been going through it trying to find oh, that's not the one. Oh, it got delivered. Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh, it literally just got delivered. Sweet. Okay, cool. All right, chat. I'm feeling very TFT. I'm feeling very TFT. I am going to run ads so that y'all don't see them. In the mount up here, because that would be bad. I don't want you to miss any of the action. So let me do that real quick. And we look at the game queued. Queued right the heck up. Where do I change? There I change. Found it. Roll it. Lock in. Pirate time. Believe in ourselves. What am I looking at here? Okay. I think there's a bronze player in here.
Just a yordle with a hammer.
Yeah, Oblivion switched up, bro. I don't know what happened there. That's pretty crazy.
There is no drama in a peaceful death.
I'm glad he's finally being true to himself, though. I would never want my homie to lie to himself, you know? Ooh. I definitely need those. Oh, God. How long do I have? 20 seconds. Plenty of time. That's not helpful.
2, 3. You're already dead. You just have to call out.
You helped lock me away. You tried to stop my work. My heart cannot be contained.
Tread carefully.
Yikes. I probably should have waited for the anvils. I got too excited. Bro, they're taking fluoride out of our water now? Is nothing sacred?
Drama in a peaceful death.
Frick. Oh, that sucks. Please sound good. Frick. Okay, well.
Enforced equilibrium. It must be done.
Okay. Do that. And that, I guess. I was really hoping for a rod. I regret popping anvils early. I can still use these things, but they're not going to be as cohesive a pickup as they could have been. It's unfortunate. Probably lead to my demise. Okay. do that. Nice.
The waves will drag you down.
Oh.
You fight to shore.
Well. Awkward.
The cold does not forgive.
True. Be really nice to get a twist of fate there. Oh well. That'd be nice. Could also get that. Could get that. Could get him. A lot of options. I love it. Well, okay. I love it when we have options. Let's see here. That. We'll give that a go. And it'll be great. Trust. Dude, I should switch my bilge water or my my arena to bilge water. That'd be fire.
All or nothing. I ain't got time to bleed. Tough luck, Malcolm.
Who do I want to get rid of? Yeah.
They picked a wrong fight. I got this.
Bro, you changed the profile picture too? That's insane.
Everyone's a hero till you shoot off a leg or two. Simmer down, hotshot.
I looked back in their chat logs. I know the first thing they said in this chat ever. By that, I of course mean the real Oblivion Knight, because that's who they are, obviously.
You think you can beat me?
Ooh. Do I go gloves?
Looks like trouble.
Do I go gloves for an early edge? I kind of want to. That's not very helpful. Low key? That's not very helpful. Go, 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 squad, go. Oh my god, the shield. The shield. Oh, Jesus. Brother. Brother, what? Oh, lucky item chest might be really nice, actually. Oh, I do love to gamble, though. That's nice for him. You? You? Okay. All right. Oblivion, I would ask you who you think is going to win Choose Your Legends, but I think you would know already, right? I assume you will be giving the Hortensia vote. A justified push this year. I remember this comp. All right, we're doing work. Ooh. Probably that. 2 I want. Ooh, we're third up. Could be worse, could be fourth. Big right, good lead for us. Good lead for us. 20 minutes? We haven't last 20 minutes. I don't know. I've been playing TFT for like last 10. I think I ranted about what I think is going to happen in Fortune's Weave at some point. I'll grab on board. Three 5 wins. I don't know how many wins I have. I got a Build-A-Bud or something? Nope. Just really early. Really early 3-star.
Keep a weather eye out.
Can't be mad. That's pretty fire. Okay. Chosen hero for Embla? That would be kind of cool. I am... I'm assuming that they're going to use Ragnarok to, like, fan service the hell out of everybody. So, like, Leg Yarn, all of them, they're, like, probably going to be back. I don't think anybody else is playing Bilgewater, which is really nice for us.
You will never have a grave, Graves. See, it's because it's your name. Your name is like a grave. Never mind.
Oh. Baller Gangplank build. Let's freaking go. Hell yeah, dude. We're doing really well on Econ, too. Oh, yeah, that's really bad for us. We're getting big, brother.
The waves will drag you down unless you fight to shore.
That's very nice. Dude, not having Rage Blade is so bad. It's kind of killing us.
Something fishy here.
Good one, Brom.
Paint the dogs in their blood.
Okay, huge. Alright, Gangplank better start putting in work. Too much. Too hot for me. Letizia? Oh, dude. They don't even know who Letizia is anymore. There's no... who?
The day I find that hero.
Letizia who? Oh, are we second? Oh, we're second. Oh, God. Okay, I almost got the wrong thing. That's terrifying. Someone took my misfortune right in front of me. Probably only... I'm even running bilge water. Ugh. They just took it because they knew I am. Bastards. Okay, let's go here. Hope. All right, hope for the hope for the best. Hope for the best. Hope for the best.
They picked the wrong fight. I got this.
Dude, always with the fiddlesticks, man. I desperately need a freaking win.
Always trouble.
Just one, man. I ain't out here trying to be a hero. Literally just the one. Big! Alright, we're big now. Now we're huge. God, we were so close. We were so close to a freaking win, man. Ay. Yeah, we're out. Not a single misfortune in sight, dude.
Follow me, friend.
Ooh, that's hopeful. This.
With sword and shot, I'll take my island back.
They didn't even keep the misfortune, man. They sold it. Mercilessly. Okay. Good get. More stuff for us.
You swim well, Gangplank. Would you style?
Alright, we gotta chill now. Gotta chill now. God, still from the first map. Ruining my day.
I've got a good feeling about this.
Can't wear the crown till the king's dead, little girl.
There's hope. Hope lives. W hope. God. Huh. Sweet Jehovah. Holy crap. I'm still set. Oh my God, dude. This is painful. Actually still painful. If we can level up, which I don't think we can. Great, man. Okay. We have to win this round and then level. No. That's it. Please lose. Dude, that sucks. Oh, we could have clinched fourth if the other guy had lost. No. Sad. I'm feeling bad. All right. Run it back. Add incoming. Running it back. This might be our last one for the day, gang. All right. We're go time. A Neathogre that's in player phase? That would be interesting. I think armor fighters are always more interesting than like tanks. That's where I give respect to Aelgard. Aelgard ults that like rush and stuff, those are cool. Because she's always going to be like an armor most of the time. But when she does something that's like a little bit surprising, where it's like a, you know, like a Gale Force armor warper or whatever, that's pretty cool. But far and few between, unfortunately. Most armors are saves. I guess you can turn them into the assault rush, but
Hello, world. I'm Seraphine, and you are beautiful.
prismatic? Oh god. Okay. I'm prepared. Chat, you already know.
There is no drama in a peaceful death.
I got a single 3 cost.
The sea is ripe for battle.
Yikes.
There is no drama in a peaceful death.
You are not in motion.
You can take my soul if you'll shut up.
Enforced equilibrium. You face the ruined king.
Arrow? All we need is an arrow?
We must be good, Doctor. Patients never come back.
Disappoint. Two emblems from random region traits. That might not be bad in the beginning. We're gonna go with something safe.
You face the ruined king.
As much as I don't want to. We're gonna play it safe.
We must be good, Doctor. Patients never come back.
You helped lock me away. You tried to stop my work. My heart cannot be contained.
Tread carefully.
The sea is ripe for battle.
When does the killing start?
Wow. That's insanely lucky. Like, insanely lucky. That's a big bummer. We could have had a 2-star Nautilus already. Which would be insane this early. Chosen Hellbindi. I think they're probably going to do the safe thing and pick, like, Veronica or something. I feel like it's too easy of a dunk, man. Maybe not, though. Ooh, I could give Gangplank that. We can probably just wait to see what we get after the loot round. Oh, no, I wasn't talking about... I understand how that could be misunderstood. I wasn't talking about for spell. In regards to the Bruno of the conversation. What? What?
I've got a good feeling about this.
What?
Wear the crown till the king's dead, little girl.
What? Brother, huh? Dude, the 5% clutch. Dude, if we go Deathblade... Whoa. I'll wait to see what we get. But we can either go Thirster, we can go Deathblade, we can go Stoneplate. Got a lot of options. Options good, as they say.
With sword and shot, I'll take my island back.
Okay, I think I know what we're doing then.
Paint the dogs in their blood.
Tempting as that is. I think we're going there. My positioning is terrible. But other than that, in a pretty good spot. Alright, if we don't flub this... We could win. This would actually be really nice for us. Probably don't want that. Probably don't need that. Coronation it is. $20 attack speed, damage, and ability. I think we want that on her for now.
Me sorry, Captain. You got to scurvy. Stage 12.
That might be good for Gangplank. I might even pop this on Fortune for a while.
Pick a card.
Ooh, that's nice too. Bro, we're printing money now. Hell yeah. Oh, we're leading. Yikes. Okay. Well, arrow's probably nice. Okay, never mind. We're getting this. We're taking it. Would Muspel not pick Surtur? Am I crazy for that? So close. I should probably just chill. I probably just want to chill for now.
Let's settle the score. All or nothing.
Wow. How about that?
I ain't got time to bleed.
Simultaneous unlocks. And we grow stronger still.
I will protect you.
They picked the wrong fight. I got this.
Lucky gloves? Oh, radiant. Okay.
To the briny deep. Land ho.
Always trouble.
Hmm.
Bang.
This is not helpful. Or some of these are not helpful anyway.
Guns blazing.
You swim well, Gangplank.
I will protect you.
Okay, I think we want that. Okay, Leona's gone.
Gotta hit the trail.
I guess I don't have a lot of gold. It's really tempting. What'd it do?
Looks like trouble. Easy, partner.
Some mad. Dude, I've got so many team slots right now.
Bang.
This is gonna tickle.
Yeah. Got a lot of team slots.
Set sail.
A lot of them. Okay, I think we just chill for right now. We've 2-starred everybody but Fizz and Wukong. But he's chilling anyway.
With sword and shot, I'll take my
Dude, we have such an add-on like everybody. That would be the main get, I think. Next would be that. But we really don't get a say. I could also take the... Well, okay. I could also take the arrow, I guess. Wouldn't be ideal. But it's something. I suppose. Got to be able to ramp up. Because we'll be able to hit level 10 pretty quickly if we're just doing it off of interest. And we have the time to do it. I think. So I think it would be the most advantageous for us if we were just trying to bank currency at this point.
My forge is my home.
I fight for the dream of Demacia. You think you can beat me?
For Demacia. Hunger.
We're getting 6 per. Stop. Before I do that.
Everyone's a hero till you shoot off a leg or two.
Simmer down, hotshot.
I think that'll be a good combo. I hope.
Today's the day I find that hero.
That was close. Not as close as it needed to be. Okay, these are good.
Bear is near. Everyone seek shelter.
Holy crap. What is Brock doing, man? Well, the good news.
I can show Mundo new places to go if it pleases. Another meal.
I think it's pretty likely that we secure a top 4. But we have fallen behind, unfortunately. Bro took 2. That's wild. Okay. They're a Gamba. Gamba extraordinaire. Hmm. I didn't actually want this, but I knew they wanted it. I'm toxic.
Delicious.
That's big, actually. On God, that's pretty big for us. I don't know if that actually helps us.
They picked the wrong fight. I got this.
Dude, what was that? Like, actually, what was that? Just happened to my body.
Something fishy here. Witness the strength of Noxus. Follow me, friends. For Demacia.
There it is. All right, well, top 4. Top 4 is here. We've made it.
Another snack.
Barely, but we did it. Hmm.
Gotta hit the trail.
I did not think that last part through. If we make it out of this... No. Could have been something great. Fourth place, man. Feels bad. I got basically the LP back that I just lost from the last game. Hard to feel too disheartened about that. Such is the ebb and flow. Oh well. Alright, gamers. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Because it is dinner time. It's actually after 9. I didn't realize it was that late. But thanks for coming out to the random Saturday stream. I won't be live tomorrow, but I should be back on a Monday with some more Minecraft. So look forward to that. I'm out here. Have a good one. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Have a good rest of your weekend. If you have Monday off, enjoy that too. But I will see you then, hopefully. So I'll tell you then. Okay, bye.